I'm actually glad that I took my time with this story. I did proper research, and everything that I was thinking that could have been the case in this story, it looks like it actually is true. So I really don't have to speculate. I really don't have to speculate. So I think a lot of what I'm getting ready to say here is going to ring true even after the details and facts come out with this mom and these twin children. I believe it's a boy and a girl, but they're twins, okay? So the news initially put it out as two twin girls, but it's actually not. It's a girl and a boy. It's the biological father. But let me give you guys a disclaimer about my content, especially if this is your first time here. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And we are getting this story from NBCMiami.com. So thank you for the article. The individual that you guys see on my screen, I know the husband might not want me to say this. The biological father to these children, I almost said kids and children in the same word, to these children, and all the family members are speaking really highly about this woman. And I'm going to just tell y'all the story, and then y'all tell me whether you would say something nice about her or not, because I don't have nothing nice to say about her. But we're getting this story from NBCMiami.com. Thank you for the article. Family members have identified the young twin children, a girl and a boy, who died after they were found unresponsive in a car on Interstate 95 in Miami-Dade earlier Friday, and says that their mom was the person who was driving, who police said jumped off the highway. So when this story first came out initially, because this was all brand new, they tried to make it seem like they found the car on the side of the highway. They pulled up to the car, saw that there were dead children in there, and they just said that the children passed away. They didn't say a cause or look like they had. They just said they were deceased. And then they said that they found the mother on the ground from the bridge. And I'm just like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So normally in a situation like this, I'm just saying, if it were a man, people would automatically assume that these children were murdered. Like they would use terminology like murdered, and then the father tried to commit suicide. And you will notice that even though more information has come out, none of those words have been used, which I think is really weird. But let's keep going. The two children, a boy and a girl, who were fraternal 3-year-old twins, were found after officers responded to a call for a medical emergency at I-95 northbound and the Florida's Turnpike extension around 2 a.m., according to Miami-Dade police. As police arrived on the scene, they saw a woman who was the driver of the vehicle with two children left in the back seat jump off the ramp onto the tri-rail tracks below. Do y'all know what kind of fall that is? Let me see if I could show y'all a picture. How tall this fall is. Because I'm just like, ain't no goddamn way. That picture doesn't do it justice. I'm going to make this bigger on the screen. I want you guys to imagine and look and see how high up that is. First of all, from that barrier, if you were to just standing on top of that barrier and fell that 3 or 4 feet, I think that barrier is about 4 feet tall, and just fell 4 feet onto your face, that could break some bones. Just falling from 4 feet distance. I can't exactly tell how high that is, but that is extremely high. And on top of that, they said that she fell on the train tracks. The tri-rail tracks, which are steel tracks. And she survived, believe it or not. she survived a jump like that. So you would have to ask these vital questions. Why would a person jump like that? I would have to think, just backtrack. Where were they before they jumped? They were in the car before they jumped. Who was in the car with them? The children were in the car before they got to where they were. Were those children alive? Possibly. Right? Or maybe they were dead and then she brought them over there and then stopped and then jumped. But I would have to think that it probably was caused behind something she felt like she did that was wrong, that she's going to be judged harshly for, that she's maybe distraught about or in some sense, and tried to end her life. To me, all of those things indicate, and I don't even think it had nothing to do with drugs. I just think she's an evil person, flat out. I don't think she loved her children. I don't think she loved her husband. And I think that if her husband believes that she loves him, I think he's fooling himself. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I don't think he can speak English very well because he seems like he's from some other country. You'll hear him talk. I don't think he's from the United States. But I think that she was so selfish that she wanted to hurt the husband by hurting the kids, and then she jumped over her guilt. Thank you. That's what I believe. Because usually with situations like this, the person wants to hurt the one thing that you know you love unconditionally, which in this case is the dad's children. He loves his wife with a condition. He loves his children unconditionally. As police arrived on the scene, they saw a woman who was the driver of the vehicle, 2 children left in the back seat, jump off the ramp onto the tri-rail tracks below. The children were transported to an area hospital where they were pronounced dead. The woman was later taken to Aventura Hospital. And I also want to see the coroner report, whether these children were beat to death, whether these children were strangled, whether they were shot. There was something that happened. Why they won't release that information, I just think that everybody's trying to protect the integrity of this woman because everybody believes she's a good woman. Officials haven't released the identities of the children, even though I just showed you their pictures. I actually have their names. Hold on. Do I have their names here? Melendiji, and Melinder, Milender. And the mother's name is Shirlene N. Alcime, Alcime, Shirlene, Shirlene, 42 years old. Family said Alcime, the twins' mother, was in critical condition. Police say that she believed that the jump was in a suicide attempt, which we've already discussed that. The family said they were devastated and shocked about what happened. The twins' father, Milson Cadet, who lives with the family but isn't married to Alcime, said that he last saw his kids and their mother on Wednesday. So I'm assuming they probably don't even live together. Again, making me believe that maybe he was trying to move on with his life with another woman and she wanted to hurt him by way of hurting his children, which they made together. That's what I believe. He called and called on Thursday, but she didn't answer. And then on Friday morning, he called the police because he was worried and then heard about this news. Let me see. Alcime owns some businesses in the area, the mother does. NBC6 found she and her family have faced several eviction cases over the last 2 years. Financial problems. The case against her family home is settled, but the one is still pending against a business location. It's unknown if that played a role in what happened. Neighbors of Alcime said that they were shocked also. But I'll actually let y'all hear that interview. So let me give you guys the fair usage, and then we'll go from there. I have to do this in a janky kind of way, but it's all good. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up and share this video, I want y'all to take a look at this and tell me if the family and friends aren't delusional. What do y'all believe?
3-year-old twins die after being found unconscious in a car on I-95. This happened near the Golden Glades.
Tonight, we're hearing from a close friend of that mother. CBS News Miami's Peter Dent joins us live from North Miami Beach with what that mother had to say. Peter.
Well, Ellie and Lauren, as you mentioned, we just spoke with a close friend of the mother, and she told me she cannot believe what happened. Miami-Dade police say there are a series of unanswered questions. It was around 2 in the morning when there was a 911 call about a vehicle on the I-95 northbound ramp to the Florida Turnpike in 826.
2 children not breathing on I-95 and the Turnpike. It's northbound before the exit, right shoulder. They're on the right shoulder.
That's a lot. That's really sad to know that the kids lost their lives so young.
Suzette Morant is horrified that these 3-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, lost their lives when authorities say they were with this woman, Shirlene Alseem, who Morant and family members say was their mother.
To be honest with you, she's a good mother because I know she has an older son. Our older son is about 16 or 18 years old.
Morant says Alseem was such a good friend that she even
Our older son is
who Morant and family members say was their mother.
To be honest with you, she's a good mother because I know she has an older son.
Was their mother.
To be honest with you, she's a good mother because I know she has an older son.
Shirlene Alseem, who Morant and family members say was their mother.
To be honest with you, she's a good mother because I know she has an older son.
It's obvious that she's a good mother because she has an older son. At this point, she stands accused of killing her twin children. Felt guilty and tried to kill herself. How on God's green earth does that make you a good mother when you try to murder your... Matter of fact, no, not try to murder. The kids are dead. The kids are deceased. Good mother where? Thank you. Who was that said that? Make this go viral. Good mother where? And y'all are going to hear them say this again. Listen, because they're going to continue to keep saying how good of a mother she is. What was she going through? What was her mental illness? What was her mental state? What was she going through? Who gives an F word? I don't care what she was going through. I don't. Because as an adult, you ought to be able to function as an adult. You ought to be able to deal with your business being closed without killing your kids. You ought to be able to deal with your husband leaving you without killing your kids. You ought to be able to go through menopause without killing your kids. You ought to be able to go through postpartum depression without murdering your kids. Right? You ought to be able to have something bad happen at work and not come home and murder your kids. Maybe that's just common fucking sense.
Our older son is about 16 or 18 years old.
Morant says Alseem was such a good friend that she even co-signed on a loan for her car.
She's been a good mother, and that's the only reason why I got her the car, because I wanted those kids to have.
That makes her a good mother because she co-signed on a car. Good God. Good freaking God. Are you serious? I'm telling y'all, it gets worse. She says she's a good mother because she co-signed on a car for her. Here's what I'm curious about. To the lady that's speaking right now. Ma'am, why are you a grown-ass woman and you need a grown mother to co-sign for a car for you? Considering we live in the year of 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, where you can work online. You can work a job online, Freddie. Okay? You can get a jobby, Freddie. You can work on your credit, Freddie, right? You can go out and go get you a secured credit card, Freddie. You can start paying your bills on time, Freddie, right? You can go get a jobby, Freddie. I got my fingers crossed. Crossed. Come on. The only reason that you need a cosigner is either A, your ass ain't got the money, or B, you ain't got the credit. And if you ain't got the money or the credit, you don't need the car, which is why people don't usually cosign for people, right? Because now that's going to ruin their credit. So when they try to get their life together and go get them a car for their family, they can't. When they try to go get some equity in their home, they can't go do it because here I am over here sipping for a dummy who couldn't figure it out on their own. How about this? How about this as a suggestion, Freddie, right? How about this as a suggestion? For those who don't know, in a lot of states, you can actually go to a car auction, a public car auction, where you're not required to be a dealer or have a dealer's license and bid on cars. If you can't do so, get you a plane ticket, couple $100, come fly to Texas one weekend when we're having them. I think Oklahoma has them. Fly to Oklahoma or come fly to Texas. But in your states, y'all should have public auctions. Get you a car. It's a little bit banged up. Fix it up. You know what they're doing? They're going out and getting brand new cars. That's what they're doing. They had to have a 2024. I guess they can't be seen driving around in a 2011, a 2015, 2013. That's too old. Car got 87,000 miles on it. That's too many. I need a car with 0 miles on it, fresh off the showroom floor, so I can go to the club and go stunt with my friends and show all of these people how I'm out here doing it big. I got to have me my Dodge Challenger, right? They do police auctions all the time in lots of states. Matter of fact, I could probably ask my big sister who lives out there in Florida. I can guarantee you that she could probably tell me the next date that they have some auctions out there in the state of Florida. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is that that does not make her a good mother. That makes her a sucker. Co-signing for another grown person, you look, you'll regret it. They'll make you regret it. There's a reason why they can't get credit on their own.
Get around safe and reliable. Now somebody I know will do nothing like that. That's impossible for her. She's not that kind of person. So it's just so mind-boggling right now to figure out what really went wrong.
Miami-Dade police were initially told the children were unresponsive. This silver van was at the center of the investigation.
We're looking for a silver Toyota Highlander.
The female on scene, who was the driver of the vehicle, she was driving the vehicle where these juveniles were located. And that adult female.
By the way, if y'all don't think I'm crazy, please hit that thumbs up.
Went over the railing to the on-ramp onto the railroad tracks, which is a considerable distance.
The mother was rushed to Aventura Hospital. The 3-year-old twins did not survive. It's not clear how the twins died. The medical examiner will have to determine the cause of their deaths, as the injuries were not obvious. Now, as Miami-Dade police continue their investigation, the mother, as we speak, remains in critical condition at Aventura.
On the highway, a tragic discovery involving 2 3-year-old twins.
The kids were found not breathing inside a vehicle. Crews rushed them to the hospital, but it was simply too late. The investigation centering on this gray SUV right here on I-95. Police say the mother jumped off that highway overpass and onto the railroad tracks below.
CBS News Miami's Larry Seward talked to loved ones, including the twins' father, who are all struggling to understand why.
Shirley Nalseem is getting intensive treatment for what Miami-Dade police call a suicide attempt, something friends and family don't believe.
That's not the kind of person who she is.
Between Shirley Alseem's friend, business partner, and Alseem's husband, Milson.
Somebody in the chat asked, how did she survive this? I want y'all to look Not at that one. Where is it at? Hold on. Where's she at? Right here. Y'all asked, how does she survive that fall? It's called blubber. You ever heard of that? Look at all those rings on her neck. That provides a lot of cushion for the fall. You know how they say pushing for the cushion? If she hit the ground ass first or belly first, oh, it's easy to see how she survived that. Y'all remember that little creature off of the NES, Kirby's Adventures, the little pink puff. Imagine if Kirby jumped off a bridge. You think it's gonna kill Kirby? Probably not. Just saying. I have no doubt that her fall. Somebody said Sonic didn't lose all his rings. Oh my God.
Alcim's friend, business partner, and Alcim's husband, Milson.
I'm not going to speak too much.
What put her in this emergency room in Aventura and led to the deaths of her twin 3-year-olds, Milantir and Milanjit Cadet, seems unreal.
We want to get to the bottom of it and find out why. Why did she do that?
Around 2 Friday morning along this I-95 northbound ramp to the Florida Turnpike, someone found Alcim's twins alone inside an SUV, both in dire need of help.
2 children not breathing.
Soon after, Miami-Dade police found their mother in critical condition on railroad tracks below the overpass. Investigators believe she jumped. Doctors tried to save the children's lives, but could not. Investigators do not know what caused the twins' deaths.
I don't know what happened.
Milson Cadet, Alcim's husband and the twins' father, has not slept. He told us in Creole he came home and did not see his family. He says he called Alcim over and over without response. So he went to police and is still stunned by what they told him. Today I get a response. I have 2 kids, my beautiful kids, who died in a condition I don't know. I don't know what happened. This isn't someone with problems, no problems mentally. He says Alcim worked full-time and has been running her own tax business for 7 years with her friend Suzette Moret. She says Alcim brought the twins to work often and saw them last in the office on Monday.
She was a regular person. She didn't have nothing different about her. She did her work and she go home.
While Alcim survived, she's not well enough to have visitors. Still, loved ones say she says Alcim brought the twins to work often and saw them last in the office on Monday.
She was a regular person. She didn't have nothing different about her. She did her work and she go home.
While Alcim survived, she's not well enough to have visitors.
She's not well enough to have visitors, you think? Y'all saying she's Haitian or he's Haitian? She says she's not well enough to have visitors. Why would anybody go visit someone who potentially murdered 2 twin 3-year-old children? Visit her for what? To maybe break your foot off in her rear end? Perhaps? Maybe? Maybe to exact some revenge? Maybe? Visitors, yeah. She should only have visitors behind bars. That should be it. Visitors in court and behind bars. That's it.
And good evening. Off the top at 6 tonight, family tragedy on I-95. 3-year-old twins were found unresponsive in a car, and the children's mother had jumped from a highway overpass.
How many of you guys, I need y'all to type in the chat and tell me, how many of y'all believe that she's a good mother? Is it just because of who she's married to? Because she's co-signing for people's cars and maybe that's a good reason for you to say that she's a good person because she helped you out, but potentially killed her own kids? How many of y'all believe that she's a good mother, a good example of what a mother should be? Oh, I murdered my kids, so now I'm going to take my own self out. I'm going to take my own self out, y'all. I'm going to take my own self out.
She remains in the hospital tonight, but sadly, the young children did not survive.
Tonight, police are still trying to piece this all together. Let's get right over to Local 10's Christina Vasquez live in Northwest Miami-Dade with what she's learned. Christina.
And so is the heartbroken father of these children. You're about to hear from him now. New at this hour, he's in complete disbelief, also sharing with us that for a couple days he was trying to get a hold of their mother.
He say I really love my kids. So.
Tears brim the eyes of Milson Caldet as he views a photo of his children, 3-year-old fraternal twins, a boy and girl, who police say died after being found unresponsive in a vehicle along the northbound ramp to the turnpike from I-95 early this morning.
I don't really know what happened. I still don't know what happened.
He says for days he had been trying to get a hold of their mother, Shirlene Alsame.
So he said he went to the office on Wednesday, and then he called her. When he called her, his wife never picked up.
According to police, the woman with the twins hurled herself over a nearby railing as responding officers arrived to help. She was rushed to an area hospital. At last check, she was in critical condition.
Adult female went over the railing to the on-ramp onto the railroad tracks, which is a considerable distance.
She's a good mother.
We are hearing from a woman who says the driver of this car, the mother of twins, is her.
I want y'all to remember also, boy and a girl twins. I want y'all to think about how many times that they said that she's a good mother and you didn't hear them mention the children. They didn't mention the children. The dad is sad about his children. Everybody else is saying how good of a mother she was, and she has an older son, and she co-signs for people's financial discrepancies, and that makes her a good parent.
When you hear what police say they found, what goes through your mind?
I'm saying that's not her. That has to be something wrong with her for her to do something like that. That's really sad to know that the kids lost their lives so young. For her, she's not that kind of person. So it's just...
Driver of this car, the mother of twins, is her friend. When you hear what police say they found, what goes through your mind?
I'm saying that's not her. That has to be something wrong with her for her to do something like that. That's really sad to know that the kids lost their lives so young. For her, she's not that kind of person. So young. For her, she's not that kind of person. So young. For her, she's not that kind of person. So young. For her, she's not that kind of person. So it's just...
So no matter, and this is why I feel like people like this don't learn. Because when y'all have heard me use that term infallible before. This is where the term infallible comes from. Because these type of people, these type of mothers, it's not all mothers because we got a lot of really good mothers out there. I'll go ahead and close it out right here. We have a lot of great mothers out there, including the ladies that are in my chat, people that understand, people who are actually trying to make a difference in their children's life and in their community. People like this who are feeble-minded and stupid don't actually get the thing, and they believe that anything that they do is right and nothing that they do is wrong. Nothing that they do actually is going to have any punish or any judgment. You know how people say, well, the Bible says you shouldn't judge, Just Jay. You shouldn't judge. The Bible said you shouldn't judge. That's not what the Bible said at all. You should judge. And if you don't judge, you're a freaking idiot. Okay? If you translate the Bible properly, if you don't judge, you're just as good as an idiot. That is in the book of Just Jay, verse 3, chapter 5, section 10. I know that was all jumbled up. Judged, lest thou be judged. That stands for righteous judgment. If you set a standard, all will be judged by that standard. Set a standard, live by the standard. Yes, you're supposed to judge. Why would you not use judgment? That's what judgment is. But nonetheless, they'll throw some Bible verses at you and then they won't live by none of the rest of them. But I digress. I just think it's wild. And I think this woman deserves life in prison. I don't think she deserves visitors. I don't think she deserves sympathy. And to those kids, look at these beautiful angels. You could have just left them alone. You could have just went to that bridge by yourself, ma'am. Go to that bridge by yourself. Leave the kids with the dad. Everybody's happy. Everybody would be happy with that result. Ultimately, what she did, to me, is unforgivable. When people hurt, murder, or abuse our children, which is why this is one of the few true crime channels that specifically focuses on the plight of children, I just think it's one of those things that cannot ever be excused. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Or are you one of those people that want to make excuses for a sad piece of person like her? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. RIP to those twin angels. Okay? Thank you.